This happened to me a few hours ago on my walk home from my coworker's house. It was 9 p.m. when I left her house and began to walk back to my own. I walked up the street and decided I'd take the trail that led to the park close to my house, since it would be a lot faster than walking through the neighborhoods. How the trail was set up, there was houses on the left of it, across a street, and to the right, about 4 feet from where I was standing, was bushes that led down to a very large, overgrown area. I had my AirPods in and was on the phone with my mom when all of a sudden I hear what sounds like a growl from something big. I stopped in my tracks and took out one of my AirPods, only to hear heavy footsteps from something about a foot into the bushes. I guess when it comes to stuff like this, I'm not a fighter. I instantly take off from the trail and ran into the neighborhood. I looked back for only a second to see the bushes moving right where I was standing moments ago. My head started to hurt and my broken arm was banging into my chest with every step, but I ignored the pain. I took a right and then another, and I was across the street from the park. From where I was, I could see over the trail since it dipped down into a tunnel that led to the park. I started walking to catch my breath, only to hear a loud roar on the trail from something big and angry. I immediately started running again and told my mom in a broken sentence that something roared on the trail. At this point, all I had to do was walk down the street and take a right to make it back to my house. So I knew unless this thing had super speed, I was safe. I made it home and the adrenaline wore off, but after having hours to think, I wonder what that thing was and what would have happened to me if I stuck around on the trail. During a fight with my husband, I decided to go for a walk in our neighborhood to get away. We live in a safe area, and although it was getting dark, it was still early, and I felt confident to walk alone. After a few minutes, I noticed a man walking his dog on the other side of the road, going the opposite way as me. I took note, but kept on going on my journey. Then, suddenly, he turned, crossed the road, and began walking behind me. I felt the fear creep up my throat, and my pace quickened. I swear he sped up too. I clutched my pocket knife in my hand, my heart beating out of my chest, my breath sharpened and quickened. I can hear his footsteps getting closer and closer. Then out of the dark came my husband's truck. Without hesitating, I jumped in as he slowed down. I slammed the door, locking it. "Go," I shouted as he sped away. "That guy was following you?" he said. "I know," I breathed. I felt my fear melt away, but not all of it, as I thought of how close I came to something dark. This happened to me last year on my way to work, which sometimes I wake up pretty early, like around 4 a.m., and leave the house early too, since I take public transportation. But on that morning, I left the house and then I started walking like a block. Usually, I always go on the left side of the street, but my instincts told me something wasn't right, so I took the right side of the street instead. As I see a dog barking at two guys on the left side as they were walking away from the dog. As I was walking, I felt like I was being followed because all of a sudden those two guys that were in the left side were behind, walking. Luckily, they weren't too close. I was able to run. I was worried they were going to chase me, that in the end, I lost track of them. That I'm happy that I was able to listen to my gut was telling me. About 2 years ago, my best friend was coming back home and was walking to her apartment around 8 p.m. She saw two guys walking and got a bad gut feeling from them and started walking faster, but then ran to our door. I asked her why she ran in. She told me about the two guys. While we were sitting there, a few minutes go by, and there's a light knock at the door. We both got up. I looked through the peephole and she said it was the same guys. I noticed there are only one standing there, but she said that there were two. The guy standing there also looked like he was wearing a uniform, but that was all black, like a cop dress uniform, but different at the same time. He was white and had long hair. We both freaked out, but kept quiet so he wouldn't hear us. After 5 to 10 minutes, he turned away, and I noticed someone else leave with him that had been standing out of view of the peephole. Creeped us out both, the hell out, and they never came back. But I always wondered what they were up to and why they came to our door when they didn't even see my roommate walk by. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If you liked the video, of course go hit that like button. While you're down there, you can also subscribe. I'll be posting videos every other weekend.